I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.
What's going on, people? It's the Xbot 448, and guys, I'm coming at you live today with my thoughts about the PlayStation Showcase. For people who don't know, PlayStation Showcase was yesterday. We also did have the next podcast on this channel, basically, I would say right after. But I was at work all day. I didn't get a chance to really get in and check out the showcase. But since then, after the show, even throughout next podcast, I was checking out trailers for games that were shown and all that good stuff, and I was able to kind of chime in on my thoughts and opinions, kind of like surface-wise, when it came to the trailers I saw. But it was a good show last night. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check out the next podcast. It is on this channel. Of course, it is every Thursday at 8 p.m. And the greatest thing about YouTube is, if you can't check it out live, you can check it out whenever you have time. But shout out to the chat. What is going on, people? Jube, my bro, in here first. What is up, Christopher Hart? Christopher Hart seems to be hyped today for some reason. I don't know. I guess things are going good in your life, bro. It can't all just be gaming. So, like, other things must be going on. Appreciate you, bro. Percolator. Yes, we are live and yes, I am still playing golf, bro. I am still on that PGA Tour 2K. Absolutely love that game. Let's see. Remember, chat, play your games, not corporations. Arturo, thank you for that. We're going to get into that a little bit today. I do have about a half hour to kind of talk to you guys before I got to go do adult stuff. So I wanted to get into it. What you're seeing here in terms of what I'm showing on this video is pretty much, the demos, highlights, what I thought were cool demos and stuff, or trailers and whatnot from the PlayStation Showcase. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing Project Eve right now, which I thought looked really good. Kind of like in the vein of Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, that type of thing. So another game and kind of like in that genre. That is pretty cool. I will let you guys know that I am still not 100% well. Like, I'm still a little bit sick, so you might hear it. You might hear me kind of like mute my microphone from time to time, whether I gotta kind of, sniff. I'm a sniffer, or cough or something like that. But I did want to kind of put out my thoughts and of this show. And I wanted to put them out kind of as soon as possible. So here we go. Chris, you need to calm down, Chris. You need to calm down. I don't understand how you could be so happy about a corporation. I can see it. I see it on Xbox's side as well. Not me, Christopher. Not me. But you are crazy overboard with that type of stuff. But let's get into the show. Just initial thoughts. The show as a whole, I thought it was a really good show, to be really honest with you. I did watch just basically the trailer part. I believe there was another part where they went in and had kind of like interviews and they went in depth with a couple games or stuff like that. I just basically watched the trailers when it came down to it. And again, I thought they did a really good job when it came to that. There was definitely surprises. Surprises are something that I look for when it comes to these bigger shows. I want to see things that I didn't expect to see. And there were two things I didn't expect to see, and we will get into that. But I thought the pacing was really good. I think these companies are finally starting to realize that we don't want to hear a bunch of people talking about a game for such a long period of time. Just give us the trailers, give us kind of like the visuals, and let us see what this game is about visually, and then kind of move on to the next one instead of just, doing that and then sitting down with the developer on the couch and having all sorts of conversation. So it was good to see that these companies realize that is not the way to go. Definitely, kind of hit me with trailer after trailer after trailer. Again, Project Eve looks good. All in all, the show pacing was good. All right. Forspoken was another one, and I believe that is a 2-year timed exclusive, and I think I need to make a video on that at some point in time, because these timed exclusive things are getting absolutely ridiculous. Like, I thought Tomb Raider on Xbox being exclusive for a year, I thought that was too long, personally, when it came down to it, especially Tomb Raider kind of being known as a multi-plat or whatnot. But now, locking down these games for only 2 years or something like that, instead of, forking over the money, making it an exclusive, and kind of go in and helping with the development and stuff like that, it seems like the cheaper way out, I don't like it. I don't like timed exclusives, man. Either you make it all exclusive or let it go to the other platforms at the get. Day one. I think it should either be one or the other, but I guess 2-year exclusive, which is asinine. Absolutely asinine. I will say the game graphically looks really good. I saw a lot of good when it came to the graphics, but that's something that we've all kind of like come to expect. I do want to get into kind of like the major points, and hold on, I gotta mute real quick. My bad. I have to sneeze and it's just not coming out. Yeah. Okay. They were from Sony, but they're not at Sony anymore. Okay, so 2-year, basically timed exclusive. Again, I feel that timed exclusives are trash. I really don't like that, to be really honest with you. It's either one or the other, instead of just kind of like holding the game ransom just because you gave a little bit more money to the developers. And again, well, to the publishers. The publisher has to agree to this, so it's not all on like the platform company, but it's on the publisher as well, and I just wish that never happened. But now when it comes down to it, let's get to like the bigger kind of like announcements and such, because they showed like Alan Wake Remastered. I kind of figured I was going to see that on a PlayStation show at some point in time, just because of the whole kind of like what happened with Xbox and them wanting to develop Alan Wake 2, and Xbox not really being down with that, and I definitely could see like Alan Wake Remastered that was announced, Alan Wake 2 being on a PlayStation floor for a PlayStation show. I can definitely see things like that happening, so I wasn't really surprised about that. Now, one of the things that gets me here, right, was the announcement of Knights of the Old Republic. Now, I've seen Twitter going absolutely insane today when it comes to the announcement of the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Now, last night I was told that this game is multi-plat and even going to mobile. From the information that I saw, yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a timed exclusive. I said I'm not down with timed exclusives. Chris, what are you talking about? I don't understand. So, do you not like that Final Fantasy VII Remake was a timed exclusive for PlayStation? Like, I'm pretty sure, Chris, because PlayStation has been doing the majority of timed exclusives, that you really don't have a problem with. Yeah, Callie, I'm here by myself, just throwing it on before I have to do a couple things. But Knights of the Old Republic, come to find out, I guess it is not the one that it actually already went to mobile. And this is a game that is going to be a PlayStation, a PS5 console launch exclusive. So when the game does first come out at launch on console, it will only be on PlayStation 5. And, you know, again, I've seen people on Twitter going absolutely nuts. Chris, it is not it is a launch exclusive, which means at first it is going to be only on PlayStation 5 at first, bro. All right, calm down. Now, the thing of this is, now, first off, I really feel Xbox kind of dropped the ball on that one, because there was a bunch of, you know, Xbox fans that were asking for this game, which was originally an OG Xbox exclusive. They wanted either, you know, they wanted a remake or something with Knights of the Old Republic on Xbox. And Xbox didn't get in there and do anything about that. But I think people are hyping it up way too much as well, in terms of kind of like a bullet against Xbox. Because if you look at what Xbox has done acquiring studios, think about this. Knights of the Old Republic is an RPG. How many first-party studios are RPG studios within Xbox? Say when Avowed comes out that it is an absolute killer RPG. Do you think people are going to be like, well, you know, I just still wish I had Knights of the Old Republic? I don't think so. All right, I think when it came down to it, Xbox looked at their first-party studios and how many RPG studios they had, and whether it's right or wrong, on the business side of things, they just thought, hey, throwing more money out there for an RPG to be, you know, a timed exclusive for us, when we have all these RPG development studios as first-party, did not make sense. Now, again, fanfare is something. All right, and that's where Xbox dropped the ball on that one. All right, they should have realized that there's so many people in the community that wanted a Knights of the Old Republic basically on Xbox, and they didn't do it. But I can definitely see why, in terms of how many RPG studios are under you know, first party Xbox and moving forward. Makes sense to me. Yo, what is going on, Ice Queen? Great to see you. Yo, Safe Space, that is another thing. Well, you know, remakes, okay. Remakes of games that, you know, maybe were just that good back in the day, I can see that. But Safe Space, PlayStation is quickly becoming known as the remake machine, bro. The remake machine. I swear, how many remakes, remasters, and stuff are you know, are on the PlayStation platform or coming to the PlayStation platform. It is absolutely insane. I don't know why you got to live in the past so much, but it is what it is. But yo, Space Invader said Uncle Phil. Well, first off, he's not my uncle, but I see what you're saying. Uncle Phil doesn't like timed exclusives. I don't like timed exclusives either. Lion Ryan loves timed exclusives. Yeah, dude, again, yo, remaster, remake machine, timed exclusive machine. That is what's going on right now, and they're using that to fill in their gaps in between their first-party releases. I can definitely see that. Speaking of first-party, we did see a trailer for Spider-Man 2 as well, and I believe Kraven the Hunter is the actual main antagonist in that game. So we did see Venom in the shadows, but if you listen to the dialogue, it sounded like he was a playable character. Like, Kraven is wondering who would be worthy enough for the hunt, you know, to possibly beat Kraven or whatnot. And Venom in the shadows kind of answered that and said, you know, we can. Basically, loose kind of like quotation there. I know there was more words to that, but basically, we can. So I'm looking at the next Spider-Man as, you know, you could play as Spider-Man, you could play as Miles Morales, you could play as Venom. And if that happens, I feel, unless they really dictate and move people towards the original Spider-Man, I feel like more people are going to be Miles Morales or Venom, and they're going to kind of leave the original Spider-Man to the side. Just because from what I hear from my PlayStation gamers, the ones that I am friends with, Miles Morales was way more fun to play with than Spider-Man on Spider-Man PS4. It said Miles Morales with the extra kind of like the extra abilities and stuff was a lot more fun to play with than the original Spider-Man from Spider-Man PS4. So I know a lot of people were looking at Venom as like the antagonist, and he was gonna, be the one that everybody was fighting. I don't think so, bro. You shouldn't talk Spider-Man since you ain't like the first. Why, Phase 23, Brooklyn. Why can't I talk about Spider-Man if I didn't like the first? That is a censorship, okay? We're about freedom of speech here. I can talk about whatever I want to, bro. But yeah, so with that, it looks like Venom is more or less a playable character and less of an antagonist. So in the chat, I want you guys to kind of share your thoughts, man. What do you think about that, being able to play as Venom? And if you get to choose which Spider-Man and or Venom that you want to, kind of like use to play through that game, let me know. Who are you going to pick? Are you going to pick the original Spider-Man? You're going to pick Miles Morales? Or are you going to pick Venom to get through the story? I have a feeling the overwhelming majority would be Venom. We saw Gran Turismo 7. I'll give you a little backdrop on me personally. Gran Turismo 7. I grew up on Gran Turismo on my PlayStation. It's what got me really into racing games, to be really honest with you. And regardless of what people think about me, in terms of me playing on Xbox and all that good stuff, I want Polyphony Digital to show that it's still on top when it comes to racing games. And unfortunately, from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't look like it, guys. Me personally, I am kind of confused. I wonder what is going on at that studio when it comes to Gran Turismo 7, because when we first saw the shots and everything, and they were talking about the ray tracing and all that good stuff, I swear, the first time we saw that, even with kind of like the lights kind of popping in when the cars went through the tunnel and stuff, the first time we saw it, it looked better than what we saw from yesterday's showcase. Yesterday's showcase, the textures for the environments looked really bland. Of course, the cars looked good. Cars definitely looked good. And when you add ray trace reflections onto things, it automatically makes it look better. But everything else was really, really bland, in my opinion. And then when they showed the close-ups of the cars, they were flashing through like different scenarios. That was using scapes. So that has even higher polygon car models for those scapes, kind of like screenshots, than are actually in the game. So it's kind of like a bluff, per se, that, you can make these screenshots and they're going to look so much better. Yeah, they're going to look better than taking a screenshot of the game being run. That's their quote-unquote photo mode right there. So with that being said, I just don't know what's going on at Polyphony. I hope they kind of like straighten that studio out, because I kind of... It makes my childhood hurt. It really does, to see what is going on with a franchise that I absolutely got into when it came to racing. Again, that's what got me into racing simulations. Gran Turismo. And it is a shell of what it used to be. Wolverine. We saw a quick kind of like 10-second trailer for Wolverine. Now, again, this is crazy. This is crazy because I feel that now, at least with this one game, because I don't think Sony has exclusive rights to the character Wolverine for video games. So I don't think that, unless they announce something or something like that, I believe this is one game that, is exclusive to PlayStation. But damn, man, Sony did something crazy here, and Sony actually put pressure on Xbox with this. Now, people know I've stated before that with Game Pass, Xbox has been putting pressure on Sony to come up with a service that is comparable to Game Pass. And you can see it throughout the community. Of course, the extremists are going to go either one way or the other, but even, throughout gaming media, general consensus is PlayStation definitely needs something that is comparable to Game Pass. And PlayStation Now, it just isn't that. But what Sony did here, with having the rights to the character Spider-Man in terms of movies and, then having the exclusive game or whatnot, And now having an exclusive Wolverine, they have put pressure on Xbox in terms of a superhero game. And they took two of the most iconic characters to do that. So, like, even when it comes down to it, if you think about it, I saw a lot of people with different things on what Xbox can do in terms of kind of like answering the call of Wolverine, at least this Wolverine game being exclusive to PlayStation, and of course Spider-Man being exclusive to PlayStation. You know, I've seen people talk about Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk just does not have the magnetism or the draw today that maybe it did like back in the 90s or whatnot. The most magnetism, the most draw is Spider-Man and Wolverine. The only thing that I can see from Xbox that could kind of like offset it a little bit would be Deadpool. That would be it right there, Deadpool. If they, you know, they can get into negotiations with Disney, but what PlayStation did here is they put pressure on Xbox to produce an exclusive superhero game. Absolutely insane. That was something I did not expect. Insomniac Games are just on fire at the moment. Yo, Ice Queen, I hear you on that, but Insomniac doing Wolverine also causes a concern for me. Now, Ice Queen, hear me out. Think about the games that Insomniac has done. You know, the Ratchet and Clanks, the Spider-Man. If you look at Wolverine and his whole demeanor, his whole kind of like ambiance, it's darker than Spider-Man. It's darker than Ratchet and Clank. So I don't want Insomniac to kind of do the same type of gameplay for the Wolverine game. You know, kind of like third person, maybe open world. You know, different costumes get you different abilities. I don't want a cut and paste from Spider-Man to Wolverine. So you got to start work. Yo, later, Christopher. So that's my concern there. I don't want a cut and paste going from Spider-Man to Wolverine because I don't feel like that's really gonna mesh well. But it was absolute genius, and I feel that Sony and PlayStation, they kind of used their negotiations when it came to Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They kind of used that to maybe gain a little advantage, get a little extra kind of like momentum going on their side for something like Wolverine. Yo, Michelle, what is up? Said Wolverine won't be out until end of 2023 or 2024. No, I hear you on that. And I actually thought more like 2025. All right. Again, I'm going to say the show was good. The show was good. When it came to God of War, I didn't see too much that would say PlayStation 5 when it came to God of War. A lot of it, a lot of the animations, and you can go and check this out yourself, you know, like getting into the boat, the rowboat and stuff like that. They reused a lot of those animations from the original kind of like God of War soft reboot or whatnot, and they put them into Ragnarok. I didn't see a lot of upgrades visually, except for maybe under the water, unless that was just a different area that it looked like that. Let's see. Faceway 3 Brooklyn. He says, I wish you luck getting a PlayStation 5 for Wolverine. It's also confirmed PlayStation 5 exclusive only, no cross-gen. Dude, who said I wanted to get a PlayStation 5 for Wolverine? I don't think I ever mentioned that, bro. If I did get a PlayStation 5, I would have to see, again, how Insomniac is developing this game and what their kind of like key features for gameplay are for Wolverine before I decide whether or not I would really be interested in that game. I do like the Wolverine character, but he's not even my favorite X-Men. All right, Storm is my favorite X-Men, to be really honest with you. So it is what it is. But God of War to me, it really looked a lot like the same God of War. Now, For people who are fans of that reboot God of War, looks like this game is for you. If you're fans of the original God of War, the reboot, then it looks like this game is for you. I saw a lot of people talking about the Thor model, and guys, I really want to point out that our idea of beauty and kind of like fitness is actually comes from ancient Greece and ancient Rome. The whole kind of yo, what up, Lady Foxfire? The whole idea of muscle structure, six-pack, biceps and all that good stuff, the whole idea of that being powerful came from ancient Greece, ancient Rome. Norse mythology is a completely different thing. When you go up north and they talk about a powerful person or a powerful, entity or whatnot, they're talking about big stature, size, built like a brick shithouse, thick. And that's what Thor is in that player model for Ragnarok. I think that is the proper depiction of Thor. Not what we're seeing in Marvel's cinematic universe. That is not how Thor was looked at when it came to Norse mythology. So when it comes to that, I think people they got to take a step back. It's not all going to be six-packs when it comes to Thor and those kind of entities within Norse mythology. But again, I didn't think it looked any different. I know there's a lot of people who are excited about that, so shout out to you guys, but that didn't really excite me at all. Again, I think the biggest spin was the whole Wolverine thing, because again, I feel that Xbox has been putting pressure on PlayStation through their Game Pass subscription for PlayStation to get a subscription that would be comparable to that. And now PlayStation has flipped the script and done a 180 with that when it comes to superhero games, exclusive superhero games. And another thing people were pointing out is like, well, Xbox can do a deal with DC. And shout out to the DC Comics fans out there. Love you guys, and I'm not trying to dishearten you guys at all. But with kind of like the blunders when it comes to the DC movies, DC Comics, DC comic characters, they're not as high on a pedestal right now as like the MCU Marvel characters and whatnot. It just is what it is when it comes to that. You look across the spectrum here. Now, if they ever nailed an exclusive like Batman game made by Rocksteady or something like that, and it was exclusive, that would be something that people would be like, oh crap, because Rocksteady's known for making really good Batman games. But other than that, like, I don't see DC being an equivalent to getting an exclusive Marvel superhero game. And again, I think the only one that can really kind of get up there close to Wolverine at this point with this generation would be Deadpool. But all in all, I thought it was a really good show. My take on this. First off, Xbox is not dead. Xbox has games coming out through the end of this year. First-party games like Forza Horizon 5, like Halo, and Game Pass is going strong. So anybody who's trying to say that after this show, Xbox is dead, the games you're excited about don't come out until like 2023, 2024. Granted, PlayStation does have games coming out 2022 as well. Games that, I know a lot of people are excited about. But don't just automatically say, Xbox is just dead in the water now. I hate that. After every show, you've never heard me say after an Xbox show, like Xbox's E3 was amazing to me. They did a really good job with that. But you never heard me say, oh my goodness, PlayStation is dead now. Like, I would never do that because it's not true. The one thing that we will get from this is both companies are developing games that have the potential to be absolutely insane. Therefore, the competition within this industry is going to give games to people who play on PlayStation. It's going to get games to people who play on Xbox. And they're going to keep going back and forth in terms of quality and stuff like that. It's a really, really good time to be a gamer. We know that there are games coming on the Xbox side, and now we know that there are games also coming on the PlayStation 5 side. So when it comes down to it, Xbox is not dead. PlayStation is not dead. If anything, us gamers are reaping all the benefits of any type of competition that is coming out of these two companies. Do I think that Ragnarok was originally DLC turned into a full game? 9 Lives, I'm not sure. I don't think anything as big as Ragnarok. Ragnarok is the end of the world in Norse mythology. I don't think that would be a DLC. If they had a different name to it and maybe a lighter story, a lighter premise, that maybe it was DLC that would, kind of build into Ragnarok, then yeah, I guess. But as far as I'm looking at it right now, I'll say that Ragnarok is definitely a standalone sequel to the God of War reboot. And I know people have been talking about the DLC, that whole DLC ideology or whatnot, but I don't see with something with the name Ragnarok on it, that's the end of the world. There's no way people are going to make DLC for the end of the world. That would be its own game. All right, guys. I hate to do this, but I got to back out of here real quick. I got to pick up one of the kids from the bus stop. I do have to let you go. Thank you guys so much for just hanging out and kind of hearing my thoughts and opinions. If you just got in, if you're a little late, you can go back and check out kind of like the beginning and hear what I thought about the show as a whole. It's crazy, and I will be on Crossfire tonight on Mooch's channel, and I have a feeling I'm not going to be allowed to talk a lot because I'm going to bring that common sense and not just overly hype everything that PlayStation showed. But guys, I hope you have a great Friday. It is the beginning of the weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. I will see you later on tonight, guys. Tune in to Crossfire. It is on Mooch's YouTube channel at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. And tell them that Xbox needs to talk. Let him get a word in. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.